Okay, so today we are going to talk about how to choose hearing aids as a sound engineer or musician. And this is something that many people ask me all the time. How do we choose hearing aids? And this is of course not just for us working with music and sound. This is problematic for everyone out there needing to invest in hearing aids. But of course, if we work as a musician or sound engineer, the sound quality is crucial for us to even be able to do our jobs. And that is what we are going to have a look at today. My name is Per Moneo, and I'm a sound engineer, musician, composer and sound artist, working with a wide variety of things in the field of music and sound. And together with Irene Monet, who's also a composer and sound artist, we run this channel, Navigate Tinnitus. And on this channel we talk about what it's like navigating tinnitus or hearing loss when working with music and sound. Okay, time to talk hearing aids. I will be sharing the process that I have been using when getting my hearing aids. And I'm not an audiologist or ENT doctor, so the tips I'm sharing here today is from my experience as a sound engineer and musician. The first thing when getting hearing aids, I think many people, just like me, start by checking out different hearing aids manufacturers' websites. And of course, that's the natural place to start. And let's have a look at the Phonak website and see what it looks like and what can be a little bit troublesome. So here we have phonak.com and we see these hearing aids, Phonak Audio Infinio. And I mean, when scrolling through this page, it looks professional and beautiful and we can see images of the hearing aids, of course. But when we start to read about it, there's one big challenge actually right away. If we start reading here. Infuse every moment with exceptional sound quality and comfort from the first use with Audio Infinio. Featuring technology that transcends the limits of hearing care like never before, Phonak Infinio helps you hear the world with ease and confidence. Embrace life's meaningful moments. Well, what did they say right there? Well, actually, quite nothing. They explain how good they sound. And we read the first point here. This seems like it's something important. It says, brand new ultra-responsive ERA chip brings a new level of digital signal processing for exceptional sound quality. Okay. So they say it's some kind of digital chip that actually sounds good. Huh? I mean, it doesn't say anything. If we keep reading, we get to see more of these kind of describing how good the sound quality is. Actually, there is very little specification, so it makes it really difficult to compare different manufacturers of hearing aids. And it's just keep on going like this. Exceptional sound quality. Yeah. Market leading universal connectivity. Okay, here we're actually starting to get some technical information. Allows for up to 8 Bluetooth enabled devices to be paired while 2 can be simultaneously connected. That's one of the first specifications that we ever get to read. And if we keep scrolling, it's keep on like this. And of course, I mean, it's not totally out of specifications, but it's very little of them. Okay, we can see this user guide for it. Let's see what that looks like. If we have any specifications here. Seems like it's more about how to use them. But specifications, charging times, yeah. But I mean, as a sound engineer or even a musician as well, we would like to know something like frequency response. We would like to know signal to noise ratio. or at least some kind of specification. Here we have some specifications, which is about the radio, electromagnetic immunity, but we would like to read something about the sound quality, what it actually sounds like. IP68, okay, these ones can handle water, so they would be good if we're going to gym. That's good to know. So yeah, we got some specifications, but there are actually no specifications whatsoever about what they sounds like. Okay, let's check out Videx. Less is more in natural hearing. Okay. Hard of hearing, you're not alone. Yeah. Okay, they have a hearing test here. That's good. Okay, so let's check out hearing aids, and we go for Videx Moment that are truly popular among musicians. That's a good start. Videx Moment delivers the most pure natural sound ever. Yeah, whatever that means. Okay. Oh, the poster guy for Videx is actually Steve Lukather. That speaks to me as a musician and sound engineer. It's not like a 80-year-old woman with blue hair that otherwise is kind of usual when it comes to marketing for hearing aids. But this is actually good. Put some, maybe not younger, but an active musician as the front man for hearing aids. And we also have more musicians talking about what it's like living with hearing aids. This could be worth checking out, get some inspiration. But let's go back to Videx Moment. Natural sound like no other. And it's these slogans that they are everywhere. That says nothing other than they're trying to describe a good and natural sound. And when reading here, the revolutionary Videx Moment changes the game to deliver the most pure natural sound ever. Typically, sound processed in a hearing aid reaches the eardrum later than sound heard directly. And when these two out of sync signal mix, you get an artificial sound. But now you can hear every moment like you used to. We call this new sound experience pure sound. Actually, this is quite good. They explain what makes this term pure sound so special. Videx has worked real hard to get down the latency time between the sound from the hearing aid and the natural sound. And there are actually many people out there that are really sensitive to getting hearing aids that are more in phase than others. For me, I am more sensitive in getting the frequency response right. And others are more sensitive to get the phase right. Okay, so by reading and keep watching through website, we get some ideas of what it might be like. But it's really, really difficult to measure different kinds of hearing aids. So my advice at this point is just go and check out different models. Google and see what others in your situation prefers. If you're a musician, go and check on forums what musician thinks is good hearing aids. And just write them down as notes. These are not the final decisions that we're going for, but just get a wide idea. And when choosing hearing aids, we can't just do it on our own, just by going to a website like this. I strongly suggest that you go to an audiologist that actually makes hearing tests and get an audiogram of your hearing. And let the audiologist suggest a couple of different models for your situations. Because that is what audiologists are specialized for. We can't decide for ourselves which hearing aids that will work for us. But if we have done some research, we can tell the audiologist that these ones and these ones seems interesting. What do you think? There are many functions in hearing aids today. It's not just enhancing the sound coming from outside. Today hearing aids are equipped with Bluetooth and wireless blah blah blah, and some even have accelerators and noise cancelling. There are so many technical things in hearing aids today. So I think it's a good idea if you just think about what do you actually need. For me, I'm very straightforward and simple. The first priority is of course the sound quality that they enhance from the acoustic environment. That's the crucial number one. And the fact that I'm able to stream music from my smartphone, that is just some extra function. I don't actually need it. And the same thing that I'm able to take telephone calls in my hearing aids, that's also just extra. I don't actually need it. But have a look at the websites and you get an idea of what different models can offer. One big choice we have to do is to ask ourselves, do we want to have hearing aids with batteries or do we want to have hearing aids that are rechargeable? And it might seem like an obvious choice that of course we want rechargeable hearing aids, right? But then it's important to realize that rechargeable hearing aids, one charge lasts for 1 day or less. If you stream very much music or sound to your hearing aids with Bluetooth or any other technology, the battery time gets even shorter. The positive thing with battery-driven hearing aids is that they last for so much longer. I don't have any actual numbers, but as far as I understand, 1 or 2 weeks is pretty common for hearing aids with batteries. And this can be especially good if we're going to areas where we don't have any electricity. If we're out hiking, for example. Or if there would happen something in the society when all electricity is gone. Then battery-driven hearing aids is of course preferred. For me, I choose rechargeable ones because I just think it's convenient that the last thing I do before going to bed is to put them on charge, and the first thing I do when I wake up is to take them out and put them on. And for me, they work the whole day. The second thing that we have to ask ourselves, or I guess your audiologist will have some input on this one, is that we have 3 different models of hearing aids. We have this receiver in canal hearing aids, and that's the ones I have. And they look like this. They have this thing that goes behind my ear. And receiver in canal. The speaker is in this piece. So this is actually a speaker cable. And that's why these ones are called receiver in canal hearing aids. But they have the main component behind the ear. If we have a look at this one called behind the ear hearing aids, it's the same thing. They have the big part, the processor in this big one, and have the speaker right up here. And there's a plastic tube that transmitting the sound acoustically into the ear. As I understand it, they are good when big large amplifications. And we have the in the ear hearing aids that goes into the ear canal. And often they go further in than these ones, so they're actually pretty invisible. And invisible hearing aids, shouldn't that be a good thing, right? Well, the thing is, when they get smaller, the electronic also gets smaller. I don't think the processor is as complex in the larger ones. I don't think the battery time is as good as in the larger ones. And I am having a hard time thinking they could fit a T-coil inside these ones. So smaller hearing aids, invisible but smaller, doesn't mean better. If you want good sound quality, choose one of these ones that go behind the ear. The receiver in canal is the most common one, as I understand it. But there are cases when in-ear canal hearing aids are a positive thing. If you, for example, wear heavy hearing protectors on a construction site all day, then it can feel good to not have something behind your ears. Or if you might have long hair that interfere with the hearing aid, that make it just that you only hear the sound of the hair, and that's irritating you, then in-ear canal can be a solution. But don't take that as the first choice, and discuss this with your audiologist. And when talking about the T-coil, works pretty much like a pickup in an electric guitar. T-coils in hearing aids, they pick up the magnetic field of hearing loops. And hearing loops, if that sounds new to you, many venues are equipped with hearing loops under the floor or inside the walls. And the room has either two mics in the roof or mics for the speaker. They amplify the sound of someone talking in the room, like a church or during a presentation. If that person has a microphone, or there are microphones in the room, then the hearing loop will send up electromagnetic waves that the hearing aids are able to pick up and send direct into your ears, which makes it possible for you to listen to the signal that goes into the mic and get it straight to your hearing aids. This is a very old technique that was invented 1937. So the sound quality is not the best, but it helps many of us with hearing aids out there. And hearing loops are installed in many big venues, churches and theaters. And when choosing hearing aids, we have to choose if we want to have a hearing aid with T-coil or not. If you're having not just a mild hearing loss, something more a bit severe, then I would definitely recommend that you get hearing aids with a T-coil so that you can listen to the hearing loop. If you work as a sound engineer at live venues, then you definitely want hearing aids with a T-coil so that you can listen to the hearing loop and make sure it's working fine. Today, a T-coil starts to disappear in newer hearing aids. And that is because hearing aids manufacturers want the hearing aids to get smaller and smaller for marketing purpose. And that's kind of bugging me. I don't need the hearing aids to be just tiny. I want that T-coil in the hearing aid. And the manufacturer of hearing aids seem to think that there are new technologies coming, which they are, like Auracast for example, but that is not implemented yet, so we still need to have hearing loops in venues. And for me, as a sound engineer, I want to be able to listen to that hearing loop, so I really want to have that T-coil. And I strongly recommend that you choose it as well. At least for now. Ask me in 5 years and I maybe have a different opinion. Okay, so when you have been discussing this with your audiologist and you have come up with one or a couple of different suggestions for hearing aids, how do you know if they actually is for you? The short answer is that you actually just have to try them out. You have to listen for yourself. There is no general best hearing aids for everyone. Choosing hearing aids that work for you is very much about your personal taste. What fits with you? What resonates with you? I know it might sound strange, but it's just like studio monitors. There are no best monitor in the world. We all prefer different ones. Someone like Genelec, another one like ATC. It's personal reference and personal taste. We have to listen to them to decide. When you are at your audiologist, I strongly suggest you bring a small speaker so you can listen to music from your smartphone to your own speaker. Then you can hear what it sounds like. But just bring a small speaker that you know exactly what it sounds like. I have a small Bose speaker that is just perfect for that. It's these small ones that we have in our kitchen, in our home. And this one is perfect to bring to the audiologist and just listen to what the new hearing aids sounds like. And the tips is, create your own playlist with music that you know exactly what it sounds like. And play that playlist through the speaker that you know exactly what it sounds like. Because then it's so much easier for you to decide if the sound image is wrong, if there are frequencies that are totally off, and the audiologist can adjust them right there. If you're a musician, I strongly suggest you bring your instrument to the clinic. So when you're trying out the hearing aids for the first time at the clinic, pick up your guitar and listen to what it sounds like, because that is a sound that you exactly know what it's like. And you can right away pinpoint if there's something that sounds totally off. You probably need to EQ it to some degree or set some other parameters. The next thing that you need to do is to bring your new hearing aids home for at least a week and try them out in your home, in your studio, at your work, at gigs, at as many environments you possibly can. During that week, keep notes on things you need to adjust or things that doesn't sound right to you. And get back to the audiologist. It might just be some settings that have to be tweaked. And also, it might take some time to get used to new hearing aids. So we have to give it some time. Today, there are many hearing aids that are able to connect to the audiologist wherever you are in the world. That is so cool. That means that you can sit in your studio, in your home or in your rehearsal room and listen to music, listen to your instrument, and your audiologist can sit anywhere else in the world and make the adjustments live. You can try it right away. Isn't that cool? So the most important in my case is this part when trying out different kinds of hearing aids. I strongly suggest you to try 3 different models if possible. Here in Sweden, where I live, we have the opportunity to try different models, and that might not be possible in other parts of the world. I don't know how it works there, but the optimal would be to try different models and pick the one that you like best. Because just because some people strongly suggest one hearing aid doesn't mean it resonates with you. For example, the Videx Moment. There's so many musicians recommending Videx Moment, and I was so eager to try them out. And when I tried them, I could realize that the pure sound technology sounded really bright and clear, but the sonic spectrum didn't resonate with me at all. We tried to EQ it, but it was something with a sound that didn't resonate with me at all. So I ended up with another model, which I'm going to talk about in other videos. But that's just an example. We can't just trust someone saying this is the best hearing aid. We have to try them out ourselves. So maybe you got just more confused by this video, but I hope that it could give you some clue on what to look for, what to listen for when trying hearing aids, because it's not easy and we can't actually just do it ourselves just out of Googling websites. We need to talk to the audiologist. They have to help us match the right hearing aids with our hearing. Okay, I'm very grateful that you have watched so far in this video. It became a very long video. But if you think that these kinds of material resonates with you, I strongly suggest you hit that subscribe button, that like button, and that notification bell. And you won't miss another video in the future, because we are going to keep making videos about tinnitus and hearing loss. And in future videos, I will be checking out a couple of the hearing aids that I test and let you know what I think about them and which one I choose. So we'll see you in the next video. Ciao.